One of the most common ways to treat a soft tissue injury includes RICE therapy. Rest, ice, compression, and elevation. However, I'm going to show you in this video, this may not be the best piece of advice. Hello, my name is Philip Williams and I'm an orthopedic surgeon specializing in sports medicine. And this channel is all about giving you practical tips for recovering after injury. Why ditch RICE therapy? In this video, I'm going to go through the new acronym that takes into account better evidence at treating soft tissue injuries. This acronym is Peace and Love. Peace and Love was coined by a couple of Canadian researchers, and they published their research in the British Journal of Sports Medicine a couple years ago. First thing to do is immediately after the injury, you want to do no harm and let peace be your guide. The P in peace stands for protect. So for the first 1 to 3 days after the injury, you want to rest and protect the area and restrict movement. However, you want to minimize rest because prolonged rest can lead to poor tissue strength and quality. Overall, you should let pain be your guide. The E stands for elevate. You want to elevate the injured limb above the heart. This helps to promote fluid to leave the injured tissue. While there is really limited and weak evidence to support this, there really is low risks to this. A is avoid anti-inflammatory. There are multiple phases of inflammation and they actually help in repairing damaged tissue. You'll also want to avoid ice for the same reason. Ice is really popular to use, but there really is no high quality evidence to support its efficacy in treating soft tissue injuries. It also could disrupt that inflammatory process that's so critical for soft tissue repair. C stands for compression. Taping or ACE bandages can help limit tissue swelling and bleeding and help to improve overall well-being. E stands for educate. Basically, learning that there is no quick fix for recovery and setting realistic expectations for recovery. So to recap, immediately after a soft tissue injury, tissues need peace. After those initial first days have passed, the injury needs love. L stands for load. Mechanical stress should be added early and resuming normal activities should be added as soon as symptoms allow. This promotes repair of the injury and prevents re-injury. O stands for optimism. A positive outlook on the injury and the recovery process is associated with a better outcome. V stands for vascularization. Pain-free aerobic exercise should be initiated a few days after the injury. This increases the blood flow to the injured area and can reduce the need for pain medication. E stands for exercise. Performing injury-specific exercises improves strength and mobility of that injured soft tissue area.